infested with zombies.
I'll try and keep up with chat in between sequences. Can be quite a fast-paced game at times, this. So we're just going to run away from the shop. And as you can hear in the background, Kendall's been mauled by a group of zombies. We're going to set this trigger off here by going right here. Just going to try and shoot this zombie out of the way. Try and group these zombies a little bit. That's not gone very well, actually. So naturally, you want to try and get through that gate without taking damage. Or we've only taken one bite. We've actually taken two there. So it's not amazing. It's not brilliant, but we're going to continue anyway. So in this game, you have a total of 200 HP. You don't actually get that numerical denomination while you're running. But each zombie bite that you take is worth 30 damage. So what we're trying to do now is we're trying to make our way to the police station. We had a word with Leon in the cutscene beforehand. 5 shots is a lot. So when we go onto this bus, we want to be getting past these zombies in the least amount of shots possible. You can actually kill that zombie on the floor with 2 shots. Now 5 is very much unheard of. So we're actually getting some really bad RNG to start this run. But it's fine. We're going to keep on going. Might need to take some safety heals along the way, which is obviously fine. So now we make it to the police station. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through the only open door in the police station, which is on the left-hand side here. And we're going to go through a little bit of a cutscene here with our good friend Marvin, a community
Are you the
community
only officer
favourite.
left in the building?
Who are you?
Oh god, the timer didn't start, did
Claire
it?
Redfield. I'm looking for my brother.
Shall we just start the timer now?
We
There we go.
lost contact with him over 10 days.
I didn't even realise. Sorry, I apologise.
Jill Barry. Every Last Stars team member has disappeared.
Getting the bad RNG out of the
We
way
should
now.
have
Hopefully,
listened to them.
hopefully, this game doesn't have as
What
much
happened?
RNG as other Resident Evil classics, such as Resident Evil 3. That game is
Incident
completely RNG
involving
based
these
throughout.
Zombie-like creatures in a mansion located in the outskirts of this city.
So, like I said before, this is the PC
Chris
port
and
with
the
Rebirth
other Stars members
patch on. Very much quicker
discovered
than
that
the original console
Umbrella
version.
was
You can
behind
actually run this about
risk
20
of
minutes
their own
faster than you can
lives.
on the PlayStation
but
version.
no one
On the actual
believed them.
either emulator or hardware.
Are you okay?
Timer, never heard of
Worry
it.
about me.
What's a timer? Why do you need
Just
a timer?
rescue the survivors in the other room.
To be honest, the estimate is an in-game timer
Take
estimate.
this key card. You should be able to
We should
unlock
be able
the
to get
doors in
this
the hall with
run
this.
done in the 57
Now
minutes.
go.
It might be a minute out or
But-
so, but we
Just
should be
go.
good.
Okay. Just hang in there. I'll be back soon.
Okay, so we've been given a key card, and what we're going to do now is we are going to open the doors. That gives us access to the rest of the police station. Now, we don't really pick up much in terms of ammo and weapons. There's only really one weapon that's used during this run, and that is the grenade launcher, which we will find in the STARS office very shortly. So now we've used the computer, we are now going to go through one of the opening doors. The first door that we're going to go through is this one. Make our way through to the other side. And this hallway is infamous for Resident Evil fans. This is where you encounter what is called a licker. And imagine seeing this for the first time. Okay, and what we're going to do, we're just going to run past him. We're just going to ignore him. And we're going to continue into the police station. Now, with the early damage that we've taken, I will need to pick up a safety heal, and the probable safety heal, I believe, is in the STARS office. This is a little bit of improvisation that we're doing here very shortly, but what we're going to do here is we're going to start this puzzle here. Now, in a casual playthrough, you would complete this puzzle all in one go. We're actually going to complete this in 2 parts. First part we're going to do is we're going to push this statue onto the opposite wall. And then we're going to leave the room. Now, the puzzle won't reset if you put this on the actual pedestal where it's meant to go. And then we're just going to leave. And pop through. Now, what this game actually has, it has door skip. So we are actually capable of skipping the doors at intervals. Now, you can skip it after a certain amount of time, and every door practically behaves in the same way in this game. We're going to pick up the grenade launcher, and I'm just going to check if there's a first aid spray over here. Which there isn't, so that's fine. That's not a problem. We'll pick up a herb on the way down. Thank you very much, Julian. First game was CVX, despite what the name is, Nemesis. Well, of course. CVX is another classic as well. Also starring Claire Redfield here. Okay, come back into this room, and we're now going to complete this puzzle. By pushing this onto the opposite wall. About 9 and a bit pushes to get that onto the pedestal. Now, the gem will drop, and naturally you go and pick it up, but we're not going to pick that up just yet for item management. We're now going to head right back to the main hall. Dodge on this zombie, you run towards him, and then you turn right at the last second. Can be quite scary, that one, sometimes. And then a little bit of a jump scare there. But we're just going to run past. Now, with that second set of hands, you can get grabbed quite easily if you're playing as Leon. With Claire, a hitbox is slightly smaller, so you can just squeeze through quite easily with Claire. And we're going to bank now. So this is the only time we bank in this run. We're going to bank the handgun and the knife. Because we're not going to use those now. We need to bank them for item management. Going to equip the grenade launcher, and we're going to use the medal. And that will relinquish to us the spade key. The spade key is used to open certain doors throughout the police station. And now, we're going to continue on with the run. We're going to make our way back through this hallway. Now, this liquor is here. Quite a delicate dodge here. We're going to circle around the liquor like that. If you blink, you'll miss it. Like I said before, a lot of this game is quite fast-paced, and if you do blink, you do miss it most of the time. We're going to push this 6 times to be able to reach. You can push it a bit further, but in a speed run, you kind of want to push it the least amount of times possible, and 6 is about right. We pick up the crank. I'm going to pick up this herb, and I'm going to use it instantly. And that will recuperate the health that we've lost. And now we can be on our merry way. We're going to head back upstairs. Dodge through these zombies here again. Back up the stairs, and we're now going to pick up the gem that we originally did the puzzle for. Missed the trigger there. That's fine. And we will make our way through this door. A little bit of a cutscene here. We meet our best friend. Sherry, everybody. Now, Sherry is the biggest Star E2 meme going. You talk to anyone in the Resident Evil community and you ask them, what's the biggest meme about this game? They will instantly say Sherry. And we will go through why she is that very shortly. A little bit of a cutscene here. We actually meet back up with Leon, who is the other protagonist in this game. You actually play as Leon in the other scenarios.
Yeah, you just missed her. Who is she?
Thank you very much for the good luck in SameDB.
But it's too dangerous for her to stay here alone. Leon, I'll go look for her. You go and find.
Is this my first scenario? No. This,
Of course.
so
Before I forget, here's a radio.
Claire A, funny story. When I used to play this as a kid, I always used to play as Leon first. And obviously, you have to play as both characters to get the full story from the game. Now, we're actually only uncovering half of the story with the A scenarios. There are actually B scenarios. I always used to play as Leon, so we used to do Leon A, and then I used to move on to Claire B. Now, the scenarios are slightly different, but the way that the items are laid out in both scenarios are very different. And it just keeps a nice, fresh, elongated feel to the game. But this was very rarely played by me as a youngster. And when I learnt this. This was the second speedrun that I actually learnt. The first one was Leon here. So what we've done here is we've just headed towards the opposite side of the police station, and we're now going to put that fire out. And the way we do that is we need a valve. So we're just going to make our way through this area of zombies there. Quite a delicate dodge there. We have to run right through the middle. And here is the valve. There is a bowgun on the table there. We don't need the bowgun for this run, so we're just going to leave that there. Okay, back through. Hopefully we don't get grabbed by Misty. We'll call the lady zombie there Misty. She has a tendency of just turboing sometimes and grabbing you. She didn't do that time. And we're going to use the valve handle. And this will put out the fire, and this will give us access to the very eastern side of the police station on the second floor. Insta-kill, chainsaw killer, didn't stress you. Resident Evil 4 used to scare me to bejesus, honestly. I've forgotten his name. There is an actual name for him, isn't there? But the chainsaw guy in Resident Evil 4 is absolute nightmare fuel. I mean, I've played pretty much every single Resident Evil game out there, and he sticks in my mind as one of the scariest. Little bit of a community story through that sound there. So that's a blood-curdling scream you hear there. Very scary, but you close your eyes and you picture Ned Flanders. You've ever seen that Simpsons episode from the where he buys the murder house? His scream is practically identical to that scream there. Now, that's from one of the very well-known members of the Resident Evil community, Subsonics. That's the first time I ever heard that. And that has completely ruined that scream for me. Completely ruined that scream for me. It's a scary scream. It's not scary anymore now I have that image in my head of Ned Flanders screaming like a woman. So we just picked up the lighter. The lighter is going to be useful for the next part that we need to do. Now, we need to grab the other red gem. Now, usually you would grab both red gems and you'd deposit them at the same time in that puzzle. With the item management in this game, you have to pick up the red gems at different times. Again, this liquor, you want to try and just aim for the wall, and you can just slide past nice and happy. And now, since we're on our second lap of the RPD, we're going to make our way in here. And this is the location of the second red gem that we need. Going to light the fire. And in typical Resident Evil puzzle style, it relinquishes a gem. What's my favourite scenario of all four? To speedrun? Would be Claire B, because there is significantly less enemies in it, and it's a nice chilled run, I think, as well. But my favourite scenario has to be Leon B. Has some very good cutscenes in it. This is a nice concentration point, this. So we have to try and run past all of these zombies, grab the C4 from the deposit box here, and then we have to try and run back around. Very tricky dodge if you're new to the game. But we've managed to do it there. Marvin. Back to Marvin. And he's turned. We haven't managed to save him, but we need the item on the table. So what we're going to do is we're going to try grab the item and then get out before he can grab us. Now, he can turbo sometimes. Sometimes he can walk slow. He actually walked slow that time. And we now run away with the detonator that we need to go with C4 to be able to make our way through the next part of the maze that is the RPD. Back to the east section. And we're now going to deposit the second red gem. Another Leon B lover. Yeah, I absolutely love Leon B. Going to use the red gem. There is a menu shortcut that you can do there, which I'll try and showcase in a second. If you hold the down and right buttons in a specific pattern, you can actually skip to that space. Like that. And then we combine that with the detonator, and we can now blow a hole in the wall and make our way in here. Now, we can investigate what the blood-curdling Ned Flanders scream was. And this is what we find.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I thought you were another one of those zombies.
Yes, it was Dr. Salvador,
Are you
wasn't it?
Chief Irons?
Yes.
Dr.
that's
Salvador
me.
was the name of the chainsaw guy,
Just
yeah.
who are you?
One of the scariest
No, don't
enemies,
bother
in
telling
my
me.
opinion, that you can come
It
across.
makes no difference. You'll end up just like all the others.
So we meet Chief Irons here, and
That's the mayor's daughter.
we find the mayor's daughter on the table.
I was told to look after her, but I failed miserably. Just look at her. She was a true beauty. Her skin nothing short of perfection. But it will soon putrefy, and she will turn into a zombie within the hour.
It's
like
Ron Swanson.
all-
Sornex got it.
There
Sornex
must
got
be
it.
some way to stop it.
How you doing, buddy?
In a manner of speaking, there is. Either by putting a bullet through her brain, or by decapitating her completely.
Both really positive outlooks on what could actually happen there. You know, as Claire, I would probably expect some form of cure,
To
maybe.
think that taxidermy used to be my hobby. But no longer. Please. I'd really like to be alone now.
Okay, so we're going to leave Mr. Irons to himself, and we're going to investigate this section a little bit more. So we're going to make our way in further into the east section, and we come into the back room here. Footsteps. Who's that? More footsteps. Well, they're cornered now, so we'll turn the light on, and it's Sherry.
Wait.
Let me go!
Easy, easy there. I'm not a zombie. You're safe now.
The most terrifying part of the run, yes. So, we will talk about Sherry very soon.
Leon, come in. I found the girl, and I've cleared the wreckage that was blocking the corridor.
Trust me, I absolutely love running this game. I love running this scenario, but Sherry is one of the main
My
reasons
name's Claire.
people get
It's
triggered by
Sherry.
this run.
Sherry.
And I will tell you more in more detail what that will be about in a bit.
Near the city limits.
The chemical plant?
Put it this way, running as Leon,
What are you
you
doing
don't
here?
miss
My
Sherry.
mom called
You don't miss Sherry
and
at
told
all.
me to go to the police station because it was too dangerous to stay at home.
From the look of things, I'd say she was probably right. But it's dangerous here as well. You'd better come with me.
Better come with me.
But there's something out there. I don't know what it is, but I saw it. Much larger than any of those zombies. And it's coming after me.
Scary noise.
That's what
We're
I
gonna
was
meet that
telling
guy
you about. It's here.
afterwards.
Sherry, wait!
We're gonna meet him afterwards. But for now, Sherry's disappeared and Claire just can't let go, so we're gonna have to chase her down. Now she just disappears. We don't get any clues as to where she is. The only clue that we get is the next item that we pick up, and the next item we pick up is on the desk. Chief Irons has disappeared with the body. Wonder where he's gone. But we have a heart key now, and there is only one door, I believe, in the whole of the RPD that this key opens. So we're going to go to that door now. And for that, we have to travel downstairs. Upstairs it. Okay. Gonna go through this door here. And then I'm going to take another precautionary heal, just in case. We're going to take this herb here. We're not going to use it immediately, because we've got time yet. We don't have to use it just yet. Now, in an optimized speed run, you wouldn't pick any heals up in the RPD at all. But because of the bad start that we've actually had, we're going to do that. This dog can be tricky to get past. You have to try and lead him over to the right-hand side and then run around the left-hand side of him. If you try running at full speed at him, he will just hit you, and he'll take a good amount of damage off you. Okay, make our way in here. We're going to go into the save room, and then we're going to immediately leave to trigger the cutscene. And who do we find? Sherry.
Sherry, I've been looking everywhere for you. I was so worried.
Sherry wait, the sequel to Ada wait, yes, yes.
If we stay
Both
here,
protagonists have a
Monster
habit
will
of
find
asking
us.
people what the
Let's
wait
go.
is.
No.
No, sorry, it's a different kind of wait, isn't it? I've got...
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
It's not.
Frankie Valley had a great... You know what? I actually sing that
Oh
on
my
stream
God,
sometimes as
he's
well when
over
she comes
there.
up.
I heard him call my name.
Sherry,
Daddy must have been attacked by the monsters. I have to help him.
That's probably the one. So,
Wait,
Sherry...
don't go alone.
Sherry's heard her dad. She wants to go and check it out. And this is where the Sherry stuff starts. This is why people love Sherry. So, running. She runs very slow. This isn't the thing though. The thing that you're about to see in this room. Now, knowing my luck, I'll probably get good RNG with her now, but you've got to climb down here to push these boxes at the bottom. Now, you actually have to climb things 4 times in this room. Now, you can actually lose time by climbing with Sherry. Because she's such a small person, she can struggle to get up on these boxes because she could drop her leg there. Now, I'm hoping that she drops her leg, just so I can show you guys, but knowing Sherry, she'll probably not showcase that to you guys. We're just going to push this box out the way so it's quicker. And this is where the fun begins. Now, you may notice that we've not pushed those all the way, but the game will recognise that. And it will level them out. First one's fine. That's the leg drop right there. Now, you could be on a real good run, and that leg drop actually costs you a second every time that it happens. And there's 4 of them in that room, so she can drop her leg 4 times in that room. But now we've done the puzzle, we're going to make our way over here. We're going to pick up the club key, which is essentially what we came this way for. Sherry said that she'd go and see her dad. She's not found him. But we found a key for Claire, so we're going to take that key back to Claire now. Hope that that dog doesn't hit you. If you stick to the right-hand side there, you should be fine and out of the way of that dog. And that's Sherry's bit done.
Are you there?
More Sherry stuff to
Sherry,
come, though.
Are you okay? Did you find your
That's
dad?
not everything with,
Yes,
to do with
I'm
Sherry
okay.
just yet.
But I couldn't find him.
Did learn the Leonair run in 2019. Really need to get back to this game. Yeah, the Leonair run is very optimised now on the leaderboards for speedrunning. Very optimised.
Thanks,
And it's a very
Now,
competitive
why don't you
leaderboard.
come over here? I want you to stay with me.
Claire, I can't reach the ventilation hole anymore. But don't worry, I'll find
Yeah,
a
guys,
way.
so Gemini
I can take care of
has
myself.
created some patches for these games
Wait, Sherry,
that
come
has
back.
made these games a lot more
Sherry,
stable
Sherry.
on newer PCs, and they make the game run so much smoother and so much user-friendly, so much more user-friendly. Definitely advise going and checking them out. So we picked up the key, we're now going to head back this way, and this dog has a habit of hitting you as well. And luckily we get past without taking damage. A bit of a dodge here. We're going to manipulate this Licker's AI by running into the wall, and that will make the Licker jump. Something I've learnt recently, and that saves you a couple of seconds there. There we go. Okay, going to head back into the RPD now. Now, there is an extremely difficult dodge here, but we're not going to attempt this tonight. We're just going to play it safe. But you can actually run through the middle of this group of zombies. But what we're going to do, we're not going to make a fool of ourselves live in front of hundreds of people. We're just going to take the safe route. This corridor is the run killer for many a speedrunner of this game. Red hallway. We're getting the dodges right at the moment. This room used to scare the bejeebus out of me. You ready for this? Woo! Every single time I went into that room as a kid, I used to crap myself. Okay, this Licker can be a nightmare as well. What you want to try and do is you want to try and lead him up to this end and keep him up here, because we're going to run back down the other end in a minute and pick up a key item. And of course, he can take slices out of you. Not entirely sure what he's doing there, but that could be problematic in a second, but we'll see. He's got to follow us, isn't he? So he's followed us down. We don't really want him to follow us. But anyway, we took the heal. And we're okay. We will get out of here with some good HP. That's bad there. Didn't want that to happen. Really tricky hallway to navigate that. And what I will do, again, in fact, we can't. This is the problem here. So that herb you could quick up, but we don't have the item space because our inventory is full. So the HP that we're on now has to last us until very much later on in the run. Because there is no more health pickups for a while now. But we should be fine. Gonna head back this way. And we're gonna end up in the library and we're gonna head up towards the clock tower. A little bit of a cutscene here. Zombies start flooding the corridors in the lower levels, but we're not really going to be going down there anytime soon. Okay, we're going to then go upstairs and we're going to do the clock tower first. So now as Leon, you do this the other way around. You would do the library puzzle first. Bit of a safety measure here. Just a personal preference, this. There is a dodge past that liquor. I genuinely just prefer to just kill it and just get it out of the way. I have the ammo to do it. It's marathon safe as well. And we use the crank. No more crank items after Resident Evil 3. The very last crank you use actually breaks on you. And we're going to use the cog on the clock tower to start the clock up. And what this does is it opens up this this panel here, and it has a key item in there, a blue stone, the other half of the blue stone that we need for the puzzle in the chief's office. We're now going to head back down. Typically, if you would leave this liquor alive in here, you'd have to dodge this liquor, but we've killed him already, so we're just going to make our way through it back to the library. Library puzzle time. You have to run across here. And then player falls through the floor. And we press the button there. Now this activates the library puzzle. All you have to do is push these two to the right. And it opens up the compartment that has the final stone that we need. And we are now pretty much ready to leave the RPD. One more scary monster in the way here is this liquor. Now, under my impression, you can just basically run past this with the grenade launcher equipped, which you can just there. You have to have the grenade launcher equipped there, otherwise he'll attack you. That is my knowledge anyway, but you can just happily run past, and he'll just stand up and watch you run past. Make our way back into the chief's office. And Sherry's here.
Sherry, you're okay.
He knows the infinite power of the grenade launcher. I like that. I like the thesis. Just going to do some menuing here. Going to use the stones. Combine the two parts of the broken one together, and we then open up the secret passageway to the underground area.
I'm going down there. Stay here and wait for me, okay?
Okay, I'm going to go down into the lift. One of the best parts of the game coming right up here. For you horror lovers, pay attention to the next 2.5 minutes. So Chief Irons has come into contact with Mr. Birkin. Scary, scary. But we're going to make our way into the next room, and in the next room we find...
So you've made it this far. Not bad, girl. But I'm not letting anyone leave my town. Everyone's gonna die.
Don't shoot.
Calm down, Chief. What happened?
Shut up. You couldn't possibly understand what's happened. Those
Absolutely love
monsters
this
from
scene.
Umbrella have destroyed my beautiful town. How could they do that to
Halliday,
me?
hello,
I've
hello,
done for
hello.
them.
So it's true.
I'm going to allow you guys to
You
take in the
have been
dialogue
working
here.
with Umbrella. Then you must know about the G-Virus. What is it? Tell me!
If you must know,
in a sassy voice.
The agent that can turn humans into the ultimate bioweapons. Superior to the T-virus in every way.
The thing I love about this is
William Birkin is the genius behind the project.
Claire has a grenade launcher now. Just blow him away. He's being threatened, just blow him away.
Around here somewhere. Sherry, isn't it? In case you haven't already figured it out.
Hey, don't worry, Calla.
The
Nice to see you.
monster that's been tearing my precinct apart is yet another product of the G-virus. An ultimate bioweapon.
So yeah, this was the second, I think it was actually the third game, or the third thing that I had a speed run. This is the best bit. This is great, this.
You with me? I just can't take the pain.
Yikers. Great death. Absolutely great death. Right, okay, back to gameplay. We're going to pick up these acid rounds and we're going to equip them in the grenade launcher. We're now going to make our way down the ladder. What's at the bottom of the ladder? It's a bit of a twitchy leg. Oh! Oh! Oh, oh, oh! That should do that, should it? Oh dear. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, I suppose we better deal with this. 5 acid rounds kills this. We might take some damage off the little fellas here. Now, you can quick shoot, but quick shooting with the grenade launcher is very, very scary. And I've got, yeah, taking damage. Hopefully that doesn't put us into caution. It doesn't, which is awesome. Usually in a run, if you get put into caution, it's a run killer because you actually run slower in caution in this, whereas in the newer games, running in caution makes you run faster. It makes you turn in circle a little bit slower, and it makes the pace at which you are running slower as well.
Claire!
So we go back up to Sherry, and she actually waited for us.
The man who developed the G-virus is actually her
Tis
father.
but a scratch. A little bit of Monty Python there.
What's wrong, Claire?
It's nothing.
Ron Swanson won't be making it to the new season of Parks and Recreations then. No, unfortunately not.
If we can just
Unfortunately not. He's going to end up staying in that basement.
But
Don't worry.
But yeah, give him a fast. Give him, but we haven't got one, so that's probably why we can't save
You
him.
have to make sure you don't leave my side.
Do a casual playthrough and let's see if we can actually save him with a fast.
Leon, are you still there?
The power of the
We're
fast.
leaving.
Are you crazy?
That's it. The RPG section is done now.
It'll be all right. Trust me. We found a way to the sewer.
It's actually a
Follow
lot of
us
rooms
later.
that we haven't been in,
Claire!
I believe. I think.
Wait!
Oh, we've visited a lot of them, to be honest. But it's time for us to leave. Now, the second part to Sherry's meme is the escort part of this game. Now, you have to escort Sherry through rooms, but of course, she doesn't run as fast as you, and if you run too far ahead of her, she'll sit down and she won't move. Now, you have to try and stagger your run, so she doesn't do that. Now, from a speedrunning perspective, this is an absolute nightmare. Because you have to try and gauge whether she's going to fall behind, whether she's going to sit down or not, whether you're too far in front, you know, and then obviously you can overcompensate and you can run too slow, and then it starts eating into your time save. And this is why everyone in Resident Evil 2, this is why they all love Sherry. They love these parts. Having to run slowly. Okay, so we've got out of the way of Birkin. Birkin's lost us again. And Sherry disappears again. Who'd have kids?
Sherry! Claire! I'm here!
Okay, so we now take over Sherry again. Little section here. Couple of things to say. No, talk is there's another section, another platform you have to climb on here. She's actually dropped a leg there, which is pretty rare. That's usually the one you get up quite well. Make our way through the door. And I'm going to head over to the left here. I'm going to go through this grate here. Now, this little tube or pipe has cockroaches in. You can get attacked by those cockroaches, but it's very good RNG if you don't. And you can get up to around about 6 cockroaches hitting you, and every single one that hits you costs you around about a second. So you can only 6 seconds in that room alone, and it's only a tiny room. Birkin's making his way in here. Just gonna try and skip a little bit of a cutscene sound that comes up there. And now we resume control of Claire. There is a pass in this room. I'm not going to pick it up because it's a little bit out of the way. We should be fine now until the late stages of the game. There's not really a lot that threatens you. And this is probably the most competent part of the run that I feel. Okay, so we're now in the sewer system. We're just going to run past these big fellas here. Nightmare fuel for a lot of people that have arachnophobia, I know. And we're going to head over here and through these double doors here. Cutscene.
Who are you? Oh, I see. Another spy sent by Umbrella, right? Let me guess. You're here to steal my husband's G-virus, aren't you?
Always self-centered and self-thinking. Always thinking about herself.
Husband? Then you must be Annette. Sherry's mother?
What?
Sherry's wandering around alone in the sewers. You have to help
Claire
me find
giving
her.
Annette some
Impossible. I told
tips
her
on
to go to the
parenting.
station. What's she doing here? William will be after her.
William?
That's right.
Big
The
spiders,
creature that's been
indeed,
causing all
yes.
this destruction is none other than my own.
Must have been some good drug and virus to be able to make them that big. There is a CGI sequence there. We're going to skip it because it takes about
So
2
those
minutes to play.
rats were the
But
carriers
it just
of the
goes through the
virus?
story of how Birkin
As a
became
result of
what he
this
is.
virus-induced transmutation, William should have lost any prior memories he
So
had
basically,
as a
Umbrella
human being.
have come to collect the G samples
I tried to save him, but
from him,
I'm afraid it's not ready to.
either willingly or
And
unwillingly
that's
or
not even
forcefully.
the entire story.
Um,
Every G-virus bioweapon, including William,
and they ended
has
up
the ability
near
to
enough killing him. They ended up
integrate
shooting him, and the
any
only way
into
that
other
Birkin
life
thought
forms.
that he could save himself
That's why
was by injecting the G virus into himself, and that's how
What are you trying
he's
to say?
become what he
the
is.
bodies of individuals with non-related genetic
Kind of wishing he
variants
didn't,
to
because it's a bit
reject
of a
the
pain in the
error.
backside as we go through the
Since
run.
Sherry is his daughter, that possibility is non-existent. It's an inherent survival instinct.
It's Sherry.
Okay,
You go
so
that way.
Sherry breaks up the cutscene there. We're now going to continue on our way into the sewer system. Use the valve handle on this to drop the bridge, so we can get across. Totally rational thoughts indeed, yes. Okay, and then we're going to go across the bridge, and we're going to preemptively put the bridge back up, because we're going to need this in a second, because we're going across that top level very shortly. So we do that preemptively. There are some green herbs there, we're not going to take them, but what we are going to take is these flame rounds. Okay. Does anyone remember this? I absolutely love this. One of my favourite parts of the game, this. Sherry's there. All is nice. All is happy. We found her. Oh, mama! Okay. Big boy here. Very simple way to defeat him. We're just gonna do some pirouettes here, though. There is a quick method of doing this. We're just gonna play it safe, because if you mess this up, he will come past this cylinder and he will eat you. And we just shoot the cylinder and boss fight done. Easy peasy. And we now head down into the dumping area, as it's so labelled on the door. And we try and wake Sherry up. G'day, mate. Crocodile Dundee here.
Wake up, Sherry.
Crikey, that's a bit croc. He's had some juice. I apologise for my terrible accent, by the way.
It hurts.
Don't worry. You'll be fine. Come on. Let's go.
Claire's voice is incredibly creepy there, by the way. Okay, so now we have Sherry back. So now we have to continue escorting Sherry through the sewer system. This next bit's not so bad. You can kind of just run ahead of her, and you want her to stop in the middle there, which she does. We pick up the gold eagle key here, or eagle medal. Now, we want Sherry to get up as quickly as possible here. She decides to moonwalk this time. Which isn't too bad, to be fair, you know, she could do a lot worse. Gonna use the valve handle again. Accent was great. This is a knife. You call that a knife? This is a knife. Okay, up into the cylinder here. We're just going to stagger our run in between just to make sure that Sherry doesn't sit down. And we now make our way across here. Just going to wait for Sherry. Staggering that run yet again. The big spiders have disappeared from that area and been replaced with zombies. A lot of this bit is just waiting for Sherry. I'm kind of playing it safe here at the minute. You can try and push it a little bit further, but we don't want her to sit down. That's not a knife, that's a spoon. I see you played Knifey Spoony before. Okay. Put the medals in, stop the waterfall. Get to the end of here. Just walk, let her catch up. And we're now making our way into the yard. Music in this bit is incredible. Absolutely love the music here. Power up the tram. Just going to wait for her at the end here again. And we're going to board the tram. Now in Leon's section, Birkin would jump on top of the tram and you'd have a sequence here. A bit of a fighting sequence. What we're going to do is we're going to put the flame rounds into the grenade launcher here. Because we're going to make use of the grenade launcher in a second. Run to the end. Zombie. Obviously, it's a very narrow corridor, and the only way to get past, two ways, you can either shoot or you can take damage. But we're going to shoot, just to try and save our HP. Get to the end here. This guy's in the middle. We want Sherry to just follow us here, which is good. That's really good. It can be very tricky to get through that section. Okay, we're now officially in the yard. We pick up the flame rounds, we pick up the grenade rounds, and then we pick up this FAS. Again, you don't have to pick up the FAS. If you so wish, you can just continue the run without it. We're going to pick it up, just as a marathon safe technique. And we're going to board the train. Pick up the flame rounds. Pick up the key. Now again, there is a strat that you can do where you don't have to pick those flame rounds up, but again, we're doing safe strats this run. We're going to do a little bit of menuing here. We're going to combine the flame rounds into the grenade launcher because it can hold an infinite amount of rounds of the same type of round. So we're going to save an item space there. And then we board the train, and the train now descends
My stomach hurts.
further into the underground area.
Hang in there, Sherry. Her forehead's burning up. I've got to hurry before the embryos pupate.
MLG alert, yeah. Okay, so Sherry's unwell. There's a big bang on the roof of the train. What's happening? We're going to go out and investigate. What do you reckon we'll see, guys? Well, first of all, that's incredibly rude. And number two, what happened to you? This is Birkin. He's relentlessly chasing after us to get to Sherry, so we have to defend her. Very quick way of doing this fight. We're going to run over to the left here. You can quick shoot if you want. You don't have to. You should be able to fire 7 flame rounds into Birkin here before he gets to you. And then you have to wait until that sequence She's there. Shoot him one more time to knock him down. And that's boss fight number 2 done. Easy peasy. And that's Birkin downed and out for the count. For now.
Sherry.
Now, of course, in that boss fight, you can actually quick shoot if you want to, but a quick shooting with a grenade launcher is a very difficult skill. You have to actually aim up to be able to shoot forward. The mechanics for the grenade launcher is completely different to any other weapon that you can pretty much get in this game. But yeah, good fight, really good fight. Clean. And if you get your timings right, you can pretty much do that fight damageless every time. You just got to have the confidence to be able to just stand your ground.
Claire?
Oh, you're finally
Because as you
awake.
see there, it does get incredibly close to you
That's
there.
okay. You keep it. I'm sure it'll keep you safe.
Thank you, Claire. Even though I'm an only child,
A little bit of a
neither my
cutscene
parents
here
ever
with
spent
Sherry
much
reflecting
time
on her
with
life,
me because of their work.
realising that she's found someone that actually cares
I grew up
about her.
alone.
You know, the usual
Now that you're with me, I finally
dialogue
have
filler
someone
of the
to
game.
rely upon.
It's a good scene, to be fair.
Sherry. Rest
Okay.
here for a bit. I'll be right back. As soon as I found the antidote for you.
So Sherry's been infected with the G virus, as we already know. Now what we need to do is we need to try and find a cure for her. This piece of music, by the way, guys, it's my favourite piece of game music ever I've ever created. The atmospheric feel that you get from this game, it's cold, it's like dark, and it just gives that really, really awful feeling, you know, like, you know, you're in the place where the G virus and the T virus was created. We're going to use a fast here, and we're going to put the fuse case into this machine. Probably would be quicker for us to do this ourselves, but I mean, you know, why do it ourselves when we can get something else to do it? Final fight, fingers crossed. Thank you very much for the same, BB. Should be fine, should be okay, so long as we don't take too much damage coming through here. And we now have the fuse for the building, and this powers several rooms around the labs area, and it allows us access to the areas in which we need to get to. What we're going to do here in the middle is we're going to put the fuse into the main system. We're also going to equip the grenade launcher, and we're going to use the fuse. And that powers up the building, and we're good to go. Okay, make our way through here. Like I said before, every single door can be skipped at around about the same amount of time. These ones are a little bit more tricky because they don't actually have a door handle which you can gauge your skip with. We just walk past those here. Now this next room is a run killer. There is very specific path you have to take through here. And luckily we managed to make it through. Them lickers can easily kill you in a split second. But we do have to come back through that room very shortly, and the second dodge, I feel, is a lot more difficult than the first. Okay, making our way very deep into the labs now. We're going to turn left here, and we're going to enter this section. What we need from here is a key card to be able to access the room which we need to make the vaccine base. We're going to yoink this from this zombie before he can grab us. And hopefully this zombie's not on the left, which he isn't. That zombie ruined PB pace for me earlier on today. And in and out in a split second. And joy of joys.
William, I'll
Annette's here
never
again.
forgive you for that.
Wait!
Thank you, Infinite Zero.
I've just
Thank you.
prepared a sample of
It's a very tricky dodge to get that. You have
this
to...
time.
There's
No
several
one
ways
take
in
it
which you
from
can do
me.
it. There's different
This
techniques.
is the most significant
But it's
piece
about
of research
timing
my
mainly.
husband has
You have to
ever
run
left
through
in
that
my
room at a
hands.
specific time.
Stop it!
At a
Sherry's
specific
in
angle.
serious trouble.
Luckily we
Logan
managed to do it that
implanted her
time.
with his
The
embryos.
second dodge
There's
is
no
very...
telling when
Right.
they'll pupate. And if that happens,
The second time we have to go through that room, it scares me.
won't.
What?
So hopefully we get it right.
William.
And look at Birkin, all beefed up now.
You're alive.
And what else would happen if you stood in front of a big giant like that with claws bigger than your actual arms? What else would
William
happen?
is still alive. He's getting stronger with each skin he casts off. Sherry!
Tell me what I need to know. How can I save Sherry?
I have detailed information. Everything you need to know to prepare
Nom,
the
nom, nom.
antidote is right here.
Doesn't quite nom her, but it gives her a right good hiding, put it that way.
And tell her I'm sorry I wasn't a better mother.
Okay.
Tell her I love
The party's about to start, guys.
her.
The Resident Evil
Annette.
party is about to start. Do you know what's going to happen?
Self-destruct sequence has been activated.
Naturally.
Repeat, the self-destruct
Naturally,
sequence
at the
has
end
been
of pretty much every Resident Evil game, you've got to have an escape sequence.
All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
Detailed info right in my coat pocket, of course. You've got to keep all the detailed info with you, of course. Not like it could be nicked from someone. So, self-destruct sequence, of course. The nest has been compromised, the labs have been compromised, and what better to do than blow it up?
Leon, you made it.
Time bomb set, get out fast. That's what we're going to plan on doing. But first, we need to make this vaccine for Sherry.
I can see you on the monitor. But never mind that right now. Leon, you have to go back and get Sherry for me. I left her in the security office. Please, you must save her.
Wait a second. What are you gonna do? Where are you going?
I still have a few loose ends to take care of. I'm counting on you.
Okay. No more cutscenes now. We're literally going right to the very end. So, this is where the nerves start kicking in. If you're on PB pace, the music gets you riled up. This room, scary. That's fine. That's fine. As long as one of them doesn't jump at us. Like that one didn't get to us though, so that's fine. So we've come out of there with minimal injuries. But again, there's a timing that you can do to ensure that you can get through that room without taking any damage at all. Didn't quite get it right there. But again, it's a very, very fiddly dodge to do. Okay, so we're now going to go back to the west section of the labs, and we're just going to enter this room in front of us. Going to take the safe route through here, because it's marathon safe. There's a zombie off screen there that we need to dispose of, because it's in front of the light panel that we need to access. Now, if the zombies fall forward, they can still be alive. You need to watch for a blood pool around them. One thing we also need to do here is we need to use the pass, because we won't have room to collect the items otherwise. Get this guy out of the way, and then we turn the vaccine machine on, and this creates the base for Sherry's vaccine. Still in it, that's it. That's all you've got to do, you just got to make sure you're still in it. That's the vaccine base picked up, and we leave the what's known as the MO disc room. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're just going to retrack again. Think fast. Plant right in front of the door there. We're just going to sneak round the side of them. Okay. Now there is potential for you to dodge these zombies. Marathon safe yet again. We're just going to kill them. We're just going to get them out of the way. These ones are easy peasy, just run straight through the middle of them, and we're going to run right back to the back room again to create the vaccine. We've got the base already, we just need to combine it with something to create the vaccine for Sherry. Make our way back in here. There is a pass in here which I am going to pick up. But we can't pick it up yet because our inventory is full. Use the vaccine base on the machine. Yeah, we call them pale skins, naked zombies. They're called pale skins, I believe, those things. Because naturally, in the place where the vaccine is created, not vaccine, the virus was created, you'd have a load of naked people walking around. pick up the fast for security. Again, in an optimised run, you won't pick that fast up there because it just wastes too much time. But we want to finish this run. Because this final boss can be a little bit choppy. So we're going to make our way back. And we're now going to use the ammo disc to do our escape. We're going to combine the grenade rounds with the grenade launcher for the final boss fight. And we now enter GG territory.
5 minutes until detonation.
Thank you for the good looks on it. This fella has killed a lot of runs. He probably won't kill this one, but never say never. So G3 comes through the ceiling, and we have to deal with this guy to be able to get on the elevator. So the normal technique, hopefully, is in the right place, which he is. 5 grenade rounds from there, knocks him down, and you'd think that's GG. Not quite, because he's about to mutate into Dog Birkin or G4. This is the tricky bit. He does what he wants here. Hopefully he just jumps on the cages and gives us an easy time. Which he does. This is good. Good doggy. Good doggy Birkin. This is incredibly good RNG. And that's GG. That is absolutely perfect. That final boss fight, perfect. But yeah, final boss fight theme, absolute cracking track. Really good boss fight as well. Really gets the blood pumping, and we just have to run down to the end of this corridor now. And we're Rosie, and that is time. My timer didn't do it, but we've finished the run. My timer won't finish for some reason, and that is Resident Evil 2 Claire A. My timer won't stop for some reason, so I'll just leave it running. It's fine. So ending sequence there is the train sets off, and everyone boards the train. Sherry gets the vaccine. She gets better, and end scene from there. And then you find out what happens after that in the B scenario. But that is it. That's Resident Evil 2 Claire A. And then we have a little